What's up, wrestling fans? I found this next thing just so bizarre that, first of all, when it comes to the greatest, the whatever, Royal Rumble or whatever, the casket match, Jericho did an interview. I think it's a CBS Sports, maybe the Corner Podcast. Don't know exactly. I think that's where it came from. Been circling all over the place, but he also, on this podcast, he also found out that the Bruno Sammartino died. And the way that they, like, broke this news to him is insane. Like, they just found out themselves, so maybe they just, I'm sure after perhaps somebody said to them, or they figured out that, or maybe they didn't care, I don't know, but the proper etiquette here was not taken for sure to tell somebody. And you can't help but wonder, if somebody was a greasy slime ball and was like, let's get his live reaction, let's get his reaction now, let's tell him. And that you wouldn't tell him before the interview. I just find that very strange. Listen to this.
Chris, I wanted to hit you up with some timely and sad news here with the passing of WWE Hall of Famer Bruno Sammartino at age 82. And I wanted to ask you, because you're talking Jericho.
What?
Listen to him. This guy, you don't know if Jericho knows or doesn't know. You don't know. But he's just like, but I wanted to ask you, like, it's like, dude, you just broke the news to him. Like, and, like, oh my God, man.
The passing of the legend, yeah.
When did that happen?
News
just recently, like
breaking news in the past half hour, really.
Like, they just, dude, like, if this just happened in the last half hour, then these guys have to know that there's a possibility that Chris Jericho doesn't know. And it sounds like they think that he doesn't know, but they just go, oh, now we're going to ask you a question about it. You have not even had a second to process this yet, but we're just going to ask you a question about it anyway and suck it up. It's just very strange, and you can hear in Chris's voice. It's very improper to do this. The proper way would have been, Chris. I don't know if you know about this yet. We assumed you do, but it's kind of breaking news, and it's terrible news. Bruno Sammartino has passed away. Were you made aware of this, or would you like to comment on that? That it would be like, oh my goodness, really? Like, what in the world? I didn't know that. But they're just kind of like, well, of course, Bruno Sammartino died, so we would like to ask you, based on the fact that you had whoa. You can hear him stopping the train because, what? So it's just, I don't know, that's how I would have approached that myself. I just can't believe that they just were like, oh, whatever. Oh, yeah, let me ask you a question about his death, obviously. And it's like, he doesn't know about it. Could have just woken up from his hotel room for all day. Nobody knows.
And I know you did a really great interview on your Talk is Jericho podcast with Bruno in the past year.
And this guy's still going into, like, I know you did an interview and I know all these things, and it's like Jericho just found out. Now, granted, obviously this guy had his questions, and it seems like he wasn't thinking about the human element, or they just set up Jericho.
And I just wanted to get your reaction and any sort of, tidbit nugget from that time with him in an Italian restaurant sitting down with him.
Well, my reaction is I had no idea. You know what I mean? I had no idea whatsoever. I wish somebody would have told me before this interview. Yeah, man, that's a downer. I had no idea.
Man, you got to give credit. You got to give credit to Jericho for not just hanging up at that point. Because, I wish someone would have told me before the interview. Yeah, that would have been good. The radio station, the host, Jericho. Just a heads up. This is breaking news 30 minutes ago, this happened. Or even if these slimy people, and I don't know if they're slimy, maybe this is the way they are. And I'm not saying these guys who interviewed him are slimy. I'm just saying sometimes media people, podcast, whatever, can be slimy about things. Like, we know that Bruno's dead, let's bring it up, let's ask Jericho a question about it, And, you would think, though, that you would just bring it up, like, hey, with Bruno Sammartino passing away, you recently did an interview with him, and that's kind of what they were going into. But it was like, how the news just broke? Maybe he doesn't know, But I guess I don't know. I think they just I think it sounds like they just messed up, but it definitely comes off like, oh my God. They also ask him about the Undertaker situation, wrestling Rusev or Undertaker, and Jericho says he don't know at this point, and it could be anything by the time he gets there. He also made interesting comments about Saudi Arabia, how they, and I used to say this too back in the day, like, it's kind of like Star Trek, the Prime Directive. When you go to other worlds, you don't just start trying to change the other worlds. and make them believe what you believe, which is funny because that's kind of what they do in, the new Star Trek. They do the opposite, They're kind of like, hey, Klingons, you better join the Federation and be like us, or, you must be bad guys otherwise. Where before in Star Trek, it was like, sure, join the Federation, but, we're not going to try to change everything you do or believe in your whatever. So he's talking about Saudi Arabia and how, you can get arrested for certain things and things are illegal and things are done differently. And you just got to go in the country and basically, follow their rules, play by their rules. And, I do like that mentality to an extent, certainly, as long as people aren't being like human beings, maybe aren't being tortured and stuff. But, that's a good mentality to have whenever you go into a different country, is to say, these are their rules. So I'm going to sort of I'm going to make sure to not mess up and not break their rules and things like that. It's like Star Trek in that way. So I like that idea of it. But yeah, he goes on to talk about all that stuff. And so he will be there. A lot of people wondering if he wasn't going to be there. He will be there, but it just doesn't exactly know the plan 100% yet. So there you go, guys. My name is Joe Cronin. I'll see you guys in the next video. Click the link down below. Click the subscribe button. Hit the bell and the notification button, and then make sure all your notifications are on. Apparently, there's a new notification setting, and that's why many of you guys don't get the alerts all the time, because it can be set to like some notifications. And you can set it to like all notifications. And I don't really know that process yet. When I figure it out, I'll get a video up for you. Monetize This is now uploaded in full. YouTube finally rendered it on my other channel, youtube.com/JCSgaming, Battle Royale Battalion. And Corrupted Podcast was last night, guys. That is up in audio format and in video on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. So thank you guys for that. And what do you guys think about the Greatest Royal Rumble, Chris Jericho's comments, and how these people delivered the news to Jericho about Bruno Sammartino? Just crazy. And I'm going to have my top most influential wrestlers who saved the business podcast coming up soon. I'm really going to be talking about 4 or 5 individuals, basically. And one of them will be definitely Bruno Sammartino. And it might almost starts with Bruno Sammartino. I might start it there. My knowledge on anybody before that is, limited. I'm maybe a guy like Bill Apter or something like that could do a great podcast on some of the legends before Bruno, but, it's going to be a big, as far as the, the 70s, 80s, the 80s to the current day, there'll be plenty to talk about. All right, leave a comment down below. What do you guys think? Hit that sub button. My name is Joe Cronin. Thanks for listening, guys, and I'll talk to you later. Have a good Sunday.